Living in the Caribbean, we're conditioned to think that we don't deserve all the goodness. We don't deserve anything that's big. We actually taught as females to just play it small, or as we say in the Caribbean, small up yourself. So we have taken that from childhood and just carry it all the way into our adulthood. So here I am today, a consultant and a coach. However, prior to that, I was broke and broken. I have to tell you that. Broke and broken. I had everything that what society would think was or made for a good life. I had the home, the cars, the kids, the husband, all that kind of fancy stuff. Yet on the inside, I was really stuck. I was totally dissatisfied with my life. I was at a point where I thought I needed more, I needed to be better, I needed to be different. I needed to be authentic. And how I was living, it wasn't me being who I wanted to be. I was living based on what society wanted me to be, or what society say I should be. So I have it all, but I'm terribly, terribly unhappy on the inside. So I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm a good time, but terribly, terribly unhappy. So after a bout of serious depression, it's just one day I thought, okay, Judy, you can either stay in this particular position, or you can help yourself to rise out of it and start living who you know you're meant to be, and forget about society's rules. It was not easy, Jane. I have to tell you, it was not an easy road, because of course, now here I am, asserting who I am, asserting myself and saying, these things no longer serve me. I don't want them. Let me focus on what serves me. And of course, I lost friends along the way. But, I am so much happier living myself, being true to who I really, really am. And I am happy, totally happy and fulfilled on the inside. We were living in Belize. Now, I am originally from Trinidad and Tobago, and I married and moved to Belize because my husband, he's Canadian, but he was living, that's where he worked and lived. And we were living in Belize, and his job moved him to Grenada. So we moved to Grenada. Here I am, not knowing anybody. In a new place, no friends. My kids are 4 and 5. I had all my days were spent at home, doing absolutely nothing, because of course, moving to a new country, we moved in the midst of the global crisis. So we are here in 2010. There are no jobs. I have no papers to work here. I have no friends. So I really, my conversations were only with my 4 and 5-year-old, because by that time, my marriage was really, it had hit the rocks and was smashing into pieces. And so my husband wouldn't come home from work until after 7 in the night. And then when he'd come home, he would just sit and read. So there was no conversation for me, no adult conversation. And I went into such a depression. I went into such a depression. You know, most days I would wake up and think of various ways I can kill myself. It was so, I mean, it was a dark, really, really dark time. Like I said, I was just broken. And, you know, my second daughter, she's just so fabulous. And, you know, she would come and she would see me and she would say, "Oh, mommy, what's wrong?" And, you know, I remember one day I'm looking at them and I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't know how much more selfish you can really be, because here it is, you have these two little lives that totally depends on you. They are so dependent on you for everything. How does killing yourself measure up? How does that really measure up? And it really was an awakening moment. It was really an awakening moment for me to think, here I am wanting to kill myself, but not really seeing the bigger picture, because I honestly believe, Jane, that we are here for reasons bigger than ourselves. And at that moment, I thought, okay, Judy, you have several choices, really. So you can stay how you are. You can get deeper into the abyss, or you can actually come out of it and take control of your life. You can actually do that. And I started reading because you know, I started reading all these different self-help books, and they gave me some motivation. And I'll tell you what, looking at the movie The Secret and reading the book really was the moment that pushed me forward. And I remember inviting a lot of other friends to come and look at it, because by that time now I started making friends. So I invited some people because I joined Toastmasters. So I met a lot of people in Toastmasters. So I invited them to come and look at that movie with me, because it had done so much to move me into a new space. And let me tell you, Jim, when I got into that new space, I got a job. So many beautiful things happened. So I was, you know, getting there. I still remember that moment, and it feels, every time I think about it, I get the same beautiful, beautiful feeling. I will tell that 18-year-old fabulous girl not to listen to society's rules, not to play by the rules that society make for us as women, because those rules aren't meant to help us. They're meant to keep us in our place. So that's one thing. Do not play by the rules society set. Take the risk. Take the risk. It is so worth it. Stop playing small, because we're not meant to be playing small. We're meant to live life full on, full out. And the third thing I'll say to that 18-year-old girl is, don't make food and alcohol the enemy. Put your health as a priority on top of every single thing else that you have to do, because our health, without our health, it's just barely very little much else that we can do. So those will be my 3 things, Jane. Let me say them again. It will be, don't play by society's rules, because society has a different rule for females as opposed to males. Take the risk. It is worth it. Do not make food and alcohol the enemy. Yes, I am. This is my empowered voice.